So, the first game of the NFL season did not go the way I predicted. Probably didn't go the way any of us predicted. I had the game going 31 to 23 in favor of the Patriots, but in reality, it was 42-27 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I start off with an 0-1 record. But it's alright, we got plenty of time to make it up. Here are my predictions for the rest of week 1. The first game we have up is Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Big Ben is healthy, Le'Veon Bell is back in camp, Martavis Bryant isn't suspended, and Antonio Brown, well, he's Antonio Brown. Pittsburgh has also added a bunch of new draft picks on their defensive side, so they should be much improved this year. Now, we all know Cleveland struggled a lot last season, but in doing so, they added first pick overall Myles Garrett to the defensive end. Unfortunately, he's injured coming into this game. Cleveland also has rookie DeShone Kizer at quarterback. He's looked a little bit interesting during the preseason, but again, he's a rookie quarterback, we don't know what to expect. Next up, we have the Cardinals at the Lions. I'm feeling a close game here. Yes, Detroit is the home team. Yes, Arizona has weakness at their wide receiver position, but I feel like Detroit will not have an answer for David Johnson. I'm going to go Arizona. Up next, we have the Jaguars visiting the Texans. Now, we've seen Blake Bortles struggle all preseason, and it looks bad. On the other side of the ball, we have the vaunted defense of the Houston Texans, and we have Tom Savage, who's built quite a rapport with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to say a big win again here for the Houston Texans. The next game we have up is the Oakland Raiders visiting the Tennessee Titans. This game should be a shootout.
You have Derek Carr,
Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, and the return of Marshawn Lynch on one end. On the other side, you have a potential MVP candidate for what a lot of people are expecting is going to be a breakout year for Marcus Mariota. Cannot wait to see what happens. I'm going to go with the Titans slightly edging out over the Oakland Raiders at home. The next game up is a tough divisional matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I feel like this is going to be a back and forth game with Washington taking the lead early at home. However, to end the game, I feel like Carson Wentz is going to go deep to new receiver Alshon Jeffrey for the win. The next divisional matchup we have is the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Usually divisional matchups are tight games, and I feel like this is just going to be another one. Although I do foresee a large drop-off from the Baltimore Ravens this year, I feel like they're going to get out to an early lead. Andy Dalton will fight back, Joe Mixon will make some big plays, and AJ Green will be AJ Green. As the game comes to a close, I feel 2 big turnovers will happen in the fourth quarter for the Baltimore Ravens that essentially end their game. Next up, we have the losing team from the Super Bowl, Atlanta Falcons, going to Chicago to visit the Bears. There's not much to say about this game. Chicago's pretty terrible, and Atlanta's bringing back pretty much the same team from the Super Bowl. It should be a blowout. The next game we have up is the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Jets should be terrible. Buffalo's not that much better, but Buffalo's going to come out with a strong win because they have the better offense. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts going to Los Angeles to visit the Rams. So, there's no Andrew Luck in this game, so you're going to get a backup like Scott Tolzien playing. Indianapolis is in for a world of hurt. The Rams have a new head coach, and so should be looking to make some changes from last season. Expect Todd Gurley to have a bounce-back season with a better team around him. The next game up should be a classic. Seattle visits Green Bay. Here, you have 2 elite teams. One is the king of defense, one is the king of offense. I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to get out to an early lead, Seattle to come back a few times, keep the game close at halftime, but come third quarter, Green Bay's going to take a huge lead, and then that'll be all she wrote. Now we have the Panthers going across the country to visit the 49ers. So, San Francisco does have a history of winning these Week 1 games against great teams. However, I think this year is a bounce-back year for the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton's going to look a lot better. He understood from last year some of the things he has to change. Christian McCaffrey looks really good in the preseason, so I feel it's going to be a tight win for the Carolina Panthers. Finally, we have the Sunday night primetime game. The New York Giants go into Dallas to face the Cowboys. The ruling came in on Ezekiel Elliott, and he is going to play the first game. However, on the other side of the ball, Odell Beckham Jr. is still highly questionable for Week 1. I expect a lot of back and forth. Brandon Marshall is going to try to make his debut a really solid one, but in the end, the Cowboys will come out on top with a fourth quarter comeback win. Now, we move on to the Monday night game, starting off with the New Orleans Saints at the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be the return of Adrian Peterson to Minnesota, so you can be sure that he's ready to make some noise. Drew Brees and the New Orleans offense has lost Willie Snead to injury and Brandon Cooks to free agency, so they're going to be a very different looking offense. Still, expect Drew Brees to do what he does and find Michael Thomas all over the field. Minnesota doesn't have the most prolific offense, but with their defense, I feel like they're going to generate some turnovers and they're going to end up winning the game. The Week 1 finale features the Los Angeles Chargers going into Denver to visit the Broncos. Now, Denver has a great defense, but they are going to struggle on offense. Trevor Siemian is not ready to be a quarterback in the NFL, in my estimation. He will make mistakes throughout this game. On the other side of the ball, you have the Los Angeles Chargers, no longer in San Diego. I feel like they're going to be the surprise team of the year, making the wild card and possibly making some noise in the playoffs. Look for Phillip Rivers to find his receivers and Melvin Gordon to break some tackles. Well, that does it for our Week 1 predictions in the NFL. Comment below on which games you think I might have gotten wrong, and tell me your bold predictions. As always, hit the like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.